1. Who is Jeffrey Epstein's bodyguard? 2. Calling for the military to refuse orders of the president. Civil War, Vietnam, 2025 with comedian Tim Young. 3. Pink sweaters and everything bagels. What a way to start the day on The Will Cain Show. It is Will Cain Country, streaming live at the Will Cain Country YouTube channel on a Wednesday, a day where we start with pink sweaters and everything bagels. It's really hard to come in and take yourself seriously, to advance the ball, to talk about the news, to start the day with some semblance of pride when you're surrounded by women asking you to wear a pink sweater. Tinfoil Pat, Two-A-Days Dan, Ed, Scott, everybody here today on Will Cain Country. And I bring everybody in because there's Dan, there's Two-A-Days, wearing himself a pink sweater.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
Everything's wrong.
Oh, okay. It's a matter of opinion.
Everything's wrong and everything bagels. Apparently, this is some viral trend going on. Go ahead, Ellie. Bring your pink sweater in. Come on.
Yeah, Ellie.
Bring your pom-poms.
It's comfortable.
And the sorority board.
It's comfortable.
We have hired a team of ladies to run Will Cain Country and the Will Cain Show, who have ensured that that's you too, Two-A-Days, the most inapt nickname ever given to someone. Two-A-Days Dan, Two-A-Days football practice, sitting here today wearing a pink sweater. Which, as I'm told, and I'm not read in on this story, I haven't seen the viral trend. Stop it, Ed. Put it on. Put on the sweater, Will. Put on. They've told me they want me to get to the news. We got to talk about Jeffrey Epstein, which is a bad transition with me wearing a pink sweater.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Please don't wear it while talking about it.
Here we are. Well, I can't talk about Jeffrey Epstein while wearing a pink sweater.
It's very itchy.
Okay, why don't we do this? What's the point in this story? What's going on? I'm not in on this story. My algorithm's very different than yours, apparently. This is a big deal. J. Crew's.
So J. Crew put out this
pink sweater. Get your camera out of here. Quit TikToking me, and let me do my show.
So J. Crew put out this sweater for all those listening. It's very, very pink, and has like a floral neck area.
It's so feminine.
Dude, you look great. You look incredible.
This is...
You look ready for a Christmas party or Easter party.
I'm the straightest one here.
It's a pink... Get your freaking internet out of my TV, my internet TV show. This is... I've got TikTok floating around in the background over here. TikTok Ellie. And... Yes, it's a pink sweater. Listen, I know in the comment section. Go ahead. Do your worst. I know what's going on. And it's got a wreath around the neck. I don't even know what you call this thing. Is it a wreath? I don't know. What is this pattern around my neck?
Brings out your eyes.
Now, and it's marketed to dudes. That's the whole thing. J. Crew is putting this out for men, right?
It's expensive, too.
You know, they were marketing skirts and stuff to men, too, so you can try to get one of those, too.
People on the right are freaking out about it.
Yeah, you going to make me wear a skirt? They're marketing skirts to men, too. You going to make me put on a skirt for content? God, this is horrific. It's not even horrific in, like, a performative way. This is horrific. Did you buy this on your own, Dan? Like, at least I think Ellie put this on the show account.
Definitely.
This is a corporate card purchase.
Definitely a bit.
But
he already owned it.
Yeah.
He has three in this.
Dan doesn't have a corporate card for such.
No.
Dan doesn't have a corporate cards for such shenanigans.
I just liked it.
Did you go buy this, Dan?
I was walking down the street in New York City, saw the J. Crew. I was like, you know what? That's very handsome looking. It's Christmas coming up.
Bull. Be for real, Dan.
No.
Be for real.
No, the team thought it'd be nice for me to wear it in solidarity with you.
Oh, really? They got you one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear you didn't purchase it on your own.
I did not.
It's a nice fit. I will say it's a nice fit. It's snug, but not tight.
It's like a grandma sweater.
Too loose. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
A grandma sweater.
But MAGA.
That's exactly what it looks like.
The right's freaking out. It's a little emasculating.
It is emasculating, and of course that's what they've done to me on the TV show. And I got to take it off before I talk about Jeffrey Epstein. I think the reasons why are obvious. I can't talk about Jeffrey Epstein while wearing a pink wreath sweater.
Can I keep it on the whole time?
Do we all agree? Show of hands. Unanimous?
Keep it. I like it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Willisha. Jump into the comment section. Tell me what you got to say.
Oh, I'll get some comments.
I don't even
worry.
know what brand we're trying to protect here. Obviously, I'm not some cowboy or whatever, construction worker. But I'd like to think I'm above this, whatever this is, somewhere in the middle.
But
right?
alas, you're not.
This isn't any worse than what you did on Fox and Friends Weekend. So
Yeah, that's true.
That's the thing. I'm not on Fox and Friends anymore. So why are you making me do these things? I paid my time.
We've evolved.
I did my dues, I guarantee this is something that would happen on Fox and Friends. And just for the record, that is a path that will get you to Secretary of War. Let's get started now with story number 1. Jeffrey Epstein remains in the news cycle as Democrats call for the release of the Epstein files. Yesterday, the House of Representatives passed a measure that went on to the Senate. There is 30 days now for the president to sign that bill and the DOJ to comply with releasing the files. It can be amended, and there have been reported concerns about privacy from Speaker Mike Johnson that he shares with the President of the United States. They're concerned about victims and new victims. Well, victims, and we don't know the total number of victims out there, but a lot of them have revealed themselves, have publicly given up their privacy. They're ready to talk about it. They're asking for more information on Jeffrey Epstein. The creation of new victims is anyone in the file, anyone's names associated with Jeffrey Epstein, of course, by the nature of this conversation, is completely smeared as a pedophile. And that's not fair. If we're being honest, that's not fair. That being said, the public deserves transparency. This case, this story has been not just shrouded, but covered in the total opaqueness. No light, no transparency, no ability to know the real story. And there are a lot of names in the file. And that seems to be the main thing that's been accomplished by Democrats so far, is that in an attempt to use this story as their modern-day Russiagate to do something to attach Donald Trump, to take down Donald Trump, they just keep revealing deeper and deeper connections of Democrats to Jeffrey Epstein. Starting with this, Jeffrey Epstein was invited to a Democrat fundraising dinner and to get to know Hakeem Jeffries by a firm working for, quote, Brooklyn's Barack. Hakeem Jeffries described then as Brooklyn's Barack Obama. Quote, Democrat fundraisers invited Epstein to attend an event to meet privately with Hakeem Jeffries as part of their 2013 effort to win the majority. So Hakeem Jeffries' campaign solicited money from Jeffrey Epstein. That's what we found in the last document batch, according to James Comer of the House of Representatives. But that's not all. Yesterday we played for you the sound of Virgin Islands delegate in the House of Representatives of the United States, Stacey Plaskett, texting with Jeffrey Epstein during an oversight meeting where they were interviewing Michael Cohen. He was coaching her. He was telling her what to ask. And then when she did so, after looking down at her phone, he texted her, good job. Well, Plaskett yesterday went to the floor of the House to defend herself.
And I got a text from Jeffrey Epstein, who at the time was my constituent, who was not public knowledge at that time that he was under federal investigation, and who was sharing information with me. Now, I heard recently.
Hold on, Stacey. Jeffrey Epstein was found guilty of soliciting an underage woman in 2008. 2008. So, by the way, she was 14. She was 14. There is some debate, there is some conversation about, their statutory, the degrees. What? 14, man. 14 years old in 2008. This is well after that. she's texting with Epstein. And a lot of people, as we've documented over the last couple of days, continue to consort with Jeffrey Epstein. Larry Summers, physicists from MIT, Republicans, Steve Bannon, other Democrats, a ton continued to talk to Jeffrey Epstein. Why? That's the great big question. But Democrat Jamie Raskin, who now looks like has illegally leaked a lot of these Epstein emails prior to this vote by the House, illegally. They were given to him, and he put it out into the media. He went to the floor to defend Raskin. Not Raskin, defend Plaskett.
Well, they want to give them another headline, which is that they've arraigned a Democratic member for taking a phone call from her constituent, Jeffrey Epstein, in the middle of a hearing. And of course, I don't think there's any rule here against taking phone calls in a hearing.
Is that what she did, Jamie? She took a phone call from a constituent, and there's no rules against that. First of all, did she talk to him on the phone? Is that new information we need to get? Because what I see is a text exchange with Jeffrey Epstein. And is that what we're doing? He's simply a constituent, and there's no rule. We're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, right? Jeffrey Epstein, the Virgin Islands constituent. Remember Jim Downey with Conan O'Brien?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
No, let me finish.
I see it.
Jeffrey Epstein.
I see it.
No one, criticizes him, and yet.
Oh, wait a minute.
That is a double standard.
Jim,
it's wrong.
Jim,
And
hold
it's
on.
okay.
Hold on.
Look,
Hold
Conan-
on. Much has been said. Much has been said about Jeffrey Epstein. Terrible things.
No,
have been
Jeff. I'm talking about Jeff Epstein, the New York financier.
Yes, we're talking about the same Jeff Epstein.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I never heard.
Oh, it was a big story in the news. Huge.
He goes on. It's, of course, a comedy bit. He's like, nice one. Good try. I think if Jeffrey Epstein were dead, I would know. But this is what we're doing. No. Jeffrey Epstein, the financier. That's what we're doing, Representative Raskin. The Jeffrey Epstein, the constituent. This is, the more Democrats tread water in this quicksand, the deeper they fall into their own connections with Jeffrey Epstein. And they try. And of course, when you're trying and you want to make sure that it's getting on the other party, not you, the mud you want to sling out is the best mudslinger in the team. Go to the bench. What do? We need, this is getting out of hand. Throw some mud. Call in Crockett. It's time. Call in Jasmine.
Folks who also took money from somebody named Jeffrey Epstein, as I had my team dig in very quickly. Mitt Romney, the NRCC, Lee Zeldin, George Bush, Win Red, McCain Palin, Rick Lazio. I just want to be clear. If this is the standard that we're going to make, just know we're going to expose it all. And just know that the FEC filings, they are available for everybody to review. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but the FEC filings require just a little bit of critical thinking and literacy, ability to read. Lee Zeldin goes to X. Yes, Crockett, a physician named Dr. Jeffrey Epstein, who is a totally different person than the other Jeffrey Epstein, donated to a prior campaign of mine. No frickin' relation, genius. He shows the donations, which total about, $1,500 from Dr. Jeffrey Epstein. No, we're talking about the New York financier, the constituent of the Virgin Islands. No, Dr. Jeffrey Epstein. Jasmine Crockett gets the wrong Jeffrey Epstein. But of course, all of this partisan, like, who's really connected to Jeffrey Epstein, who's got their hands dirty with Jeffrey Epstein, I've long contended, isn't the real story, isn't the story we should be paying attention to. So at the top of this show, before they put me in a pink sweater, and by the way, had me eat apparently the best the best bagel in America. Did you guys see this? 2-a-days and tinfoil. It's called Starship Bagel. Dan, do you know it in New York? Starship Bagel.
I think Ellie mentioned it to me.
Yeah. There's one in Dallas now.
Yeah,
so it's supposed to be the best.
You can't do
bagel.
garlic and onion and stuff.
Dude, she got me the everything bagel. Mm-hmm. I'm not an everything bagel guy. I love the taste of onion and garlic, but I only like it for a little while. And unfortunately, with onion and garlic, I taste it for hours. Hours. It keeps me up at night if I have it for dinner.
Do you like bagels?
Just get me a... I do like a bagel, but I would say back in the day, I used to love a bagel. Like, I would use it as my sandwich bread. Like, give me like a chicken cutlet on a bagel. We're talking about something really nice here. But no more. It's too thick. It's too much. It's just too much.
I just think it's so mid.
If I'm ranking, by the way...
Everything in that shape, like if you get to choose, I take a donut over a bagel, obviously. I mean, like, it's just boiled dough.
A million times I take the donut over the bagel. But if you're staying in the non-sweet category of pastries that you eat for breakfast and such, number one far and away is the croissant. Like, the croissant is running away from the field. And make a sandwich, like a tuna salad sandwich,
ham
or
and
a
cheese
chicken
on
salad sandwich,
ham and cheese
or
on a croissant.
Egg salad sandwich on a croissant, bacon, egg, and cheese on croissant, any of that stuff. Phenomenal.
They have croissant bread now, like a loaf. Amazing.
I wouldn't want to get it on my sweater, though.
Speaking of Fox and Friends, Hegseth used to order a bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll. And that's a New York thing to do. And the roll is so dry. So dry. Put that bad boy on a croissant. Now you got a little something going. I don't know how I got into bagels really quickly, because I was about to talk about the real story with Jeffrey Epstein. And here it is. Yesterday on the Will Cain show, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna was on. We were talking about Epstein. Talking about it. We're having a conversation very similar to the one that you and I are having right now. And I asked her about Bill Clinton's connections to Jeffrey Epstein, because he's in the Epstein emails. I said this on the show, by the way. I need to say... I shouldn't have said it the way I did. I said, it's not Trump who's all over the emails. Trump is all over the emails. However, it's people talking about Trump. And most of the time, it's in ways that really don't implicate Trump. It really doesn't, if you look at the stuff. Bill Clinton is also in the emails as other people are talking about him. And it does implicate Bill Clinton. And it's not Trump that has a painting and a dress in Jeffrey Epstein's home. It's Bill Clinton. So I asked the Congresswoman about Clinton. And then she went in a different direction, which required me to follow up. And honestly, I had to follow up like 4 times. I don't know how much of that we cut. But there was a lot in this answer from Congresswoman Luna.
And ultimately, I do believe that there's an aspect to Jeffrey Epstein that involves foreign intelligence. But make no mistake, if it was American intelligence, we would have had some form of file on him that existed at the CIA. And to my knowledge, that doesn't exist. I had asked the victim attorney representation directly in front of all of House Oversight and the Speaker of the House if, to their knowledge, he had information or if he was involved with a foreign government. And they said that he was actively in communication at the time while he was under arrest with the former director of the CIA, so different administration, not Trump's administration, but different administration, and that they had heard / had potentially knowledge that he was involved with Israel, Iran, and Russia. That he was directly communicating via his bodyguard through notes with the former director of the CIA. And this is, mind you, not during the Trump administration, but when he was first on house arrest.
Okay, so we edited that up, right, Dan and Patrick? And here's how it goes down. She says she believes and she has information that Jeffrey Epstein is connected to intelligence. I then ask, what intelligence? And she says, Iran, Russia, and Israel. I then ask, that's not the first time I've heard that. It's not probably the first time you've heard that. I ask, how does she know? Because now we're getting to the issue. How can you prove what you say, right? And she says, I've heard it from victims' attorneys. For the record, right now, my show staff and I are on the search to talk to these victims' attorneys. But then I ask, how would victims' attorneys know about Jeffrey Epstein's connections to foreign intelligence? There's a lot of insight that victims' attorneys would have. They would have access to document dumps, discovery, but I don't think that would be something that would just show up in a legal discovery filing. She says victims' attorneys talk to Jeffrey Epstein's bodyguard. I'm like, well, that's the first I've heard of Jeffrey Epstein's bodyguard. And I'm not telling you I'm an expert on the subject, but I'm also not completely out of it. I've been reading a lot. First I've heard of a bodyguard. I said, whoa, this bodyguard, the keeper of the secrets, he knows everything. What's his name? The congressman says, I have to look back in my notes. I will say, and I'm an open ear for the congresswoman, and curious, I don't think it would be a name you would forget. I don't think you'd have to go back to your notes. This bodyguard all of a sudden seems like one of the most important people in the entire story. And I'm on the search for that name as well. And we're going to try to book that interview. This is the story. Is it true or is it not? I don't know. But this is the story. Okay? All the other names, those matter. All the people in the Epstein files, those matter. But I think you can see by the very nature of the game of partisan politics, of everybody trying to throw mud at each other and basically stain the other party with connections to Jeffrey Epstein, that's not serious. It's an unserious endeavor. And when Speaker Mike Johnson says he's concerned about releasing things and he lists among his reasons national security, well, I want to know more. Because I've never seen a story less covered. I've never seen a story with less light on it. I've never seen a story more inexplicable. I've never seen a life as odd as Jeffrey Epstein's with as many connections and as much get-out-of-jail-free cards issued as Jeffrey Epstein. I don't know what's true, but I know that this is where you have to start in your pursuit of the truth. And we will, here at Will Cain Country. The Democrats publish a video with about 7 members of the Senate and the House calling for the military to stand down from orders from President Trump. How crazy is that? Civil War? Vietnam? 2025? We'll discuss that with comedian Tim Young when we come back on Will Cain Country. I want water. You can stay here for a minute. You can take the 2-shot, Dan. You know, this was an interesting supply-demand conversation. It is Will Cain Country, streaming live at the Will Cain Country YouTube channel. We're joined now by comedian Tim Young, who's just admiring the J. Crew sweater.
$170.
Yeah.
For this.
The supply-demand conversation.
How much is your frothy latte?
Do you? By the way, speaking of that, this is what the audience has to say. Yeppy Anderson says, nice Pepto sweater. Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
J.G. Meadows says, no, Will, absolutely not. Take it off. Mary Mack says, the pink sweater can't be unseen. Give me toxic masculinity. That's a preference. And Michael says, oh, my God, Will. Down here in Southeast Texas, we always thought anybody above, I guess them, were Yankees, and you just proved it. What a beta male.
Well, this balances out. That balances out. I saw you do the NYC SEAL swim team to Ellis Island, which is like the most masculine thing I think you can do in modern day America.
There's nothing wrong
really?
with this.
Even with my shirt off and the short shorts?
There's nothing wrong
I
with
didn't
this.
pay attention to that part. I heard about it, and then we get it. You're a very attractive man. Will.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just talking about how I need to lose weight before I came on this show.
Well, I was just telling you, like, what we're all self-critical of, and I see myself. I don't watch myself. By the way, during that total Anna Paulina Luna clip,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you got to get a haircut. Like the whole time.
You said that to Anna Paulina?
But I wake up every day committed to doing less nicotine and eating fewer carbs. And yeah, funny, Ed. Laugh away.
They are.
I fail on the nicotine. Literally, you want to tell you when my first failure of the day is? This is my first failure is 8 a.m., I believe. I think that's when I have the first, Lucy. And the carbs, I make it to lunch, except today.
I had combos for breakfast because I hadn't had them in a while, and I was like, "This is great." You stop by a gas station, you're like, "Hey, I might as well get some combos." I have a
You're
problem.
just not in on the Maha movement? Combos for breakfast?
I interviewed Nicole Shanahan. She's a fantastic person, very healthy. I can't live that lifestyle.
No?
At all. No. I have a 1,000 bottle whiskey collection. You know this. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
And it's just hard when you have good stuff sitting around the house. I'm not saying I'm an alcoholic, but it's hard to not hit the good stuff.
Yeah.
Once in a while, especially when you watch all the clips you watch. I'd be carb loading nonstop. You have to stress eat.
All the clips that I watch, you don't watch them. You're on the social media.
I'm on all.
You see it. You see it all. Speaking of that, let's just get to one. How about this? This was put out by Democrats, several members of the House and the Senate, yesterday, asking for the military to refuse orders from President Trump.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
and intelligence community professionals
against American citizens. Like us, you all swore an oath
to protect and defend this Constitution.
Right now,
threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad, but from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law or our Constitution.
So, okay, first, your reaction. I have a thought. Your reaction.
This is like an apocalyptic movie clip. This looks like something from like a V for Vendetta type situation where you have the government calling for mutiny against itself, or like one of these like kind of like Civil War type things. This is how that is a crazy clip, and I watched that a couple of times. I can't believe the Democrats are calling for it, but at the same time, if you look at the escalation and the crescendo of their rhetoric over the past couple of years, you kind of can't. After we saw Biden in front of what was it, Constitution Hall in Philadelphia with the Marines behind him saying that MAGA was the enemy of America, I guess all bets are off.
So we were talking about this in our morning meeting, Tim, and we don't think we fully appreciated it yesterday. This is really off the charts.
Yeah.
Really off the charts. And you have to go back in time really to think about when would this have ever been done in American history. And the consensus among of us behind the scenes on the show is like, this exceeds anything that we know of from Vietnam.
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about, there's always going to be people that have radical rhetoric, but we're talking about elected officials who are asking for the military to refuse orders. It might be the Civil War when you had this high of elected officials saying, defy the government.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing I can think of when you take a look at it. Obviously not since then. Vietnam was, hey, stand up and protest the war and put little flowers and guns. This is actually turn on the leadership of the government. I can't fathom it, but yet I can, because we have been brought to this. It's the boiling frog. We've been brought to this point, and only so few people have been really paying attention to it. I feel like Americans aren't awake to this still at this point, how crazy the left has gotten.
So I want to do this. I want to bring in Tinfoil Pat and Two-A-Day Stan for just a moment. Dan, you sent us this morning some research. You went back and looked. And it does read in the Uniform Military Code that you are to obey the Constitution.
Yeah.
That following orders does not get you out of doing something illegal. And you have a multitude of examples of throughout history of that being reinforced from the words of high-level military. And you also have examples like where it should have been done, like the My Lai massacre in Vietnam. I want to ask you a question because I think there's a debate that has to be had here. In your mind, Dan, when you sent us that research, I got the email this morning. I was like, ooh, what's Dan getting at here? Do you think this is in that spirit, in that same, like the examples you gave us, Abu Ghraib, My Lai, various parts of American history, and various times you can hear high-level generals talking about this. What you just saw from Democrats, you think it's in the same vein?
Oh, no, it's way different. I was just giving examples that were kind of like that to see if there were any in history in this country, and those were the closest that came to that, and nothing like this. I think it's crazy. I hate that I'm wearing the sweater right now, by the way.
So, says the man
nice
in the pink sweater.
It really makes your eyes pop.
Thank you so much.
By the way, Dan, you've got some advice from the audience as well.
Yeah.
Michael Knight says, Dan, don't wear that sweater when eating fried chicken.
Chicken fried steak, because I've never had
chicken fried steak. No, it's chicken fried steak. Yeah, Dan doesn't know what chicken fried steak is. Do you know chicken fried steak?
Yeah, it's steak that's battered and you beat it down.
I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
Nice, Tim. Thank you.
I was going to give you the recipe.
He's never heard of it before.
What?
Yeah.
Every diner in America.
Yeah, so don't eat chicken fried steak with that sweater on, Dan. James Marr says, any man who would ever wear a pink sweater is suspect.
I'm from Connecticut,
and
man.
Bretrick says, that's a woman's sweater. And George Bethel says, we'll take off the sweater. You say that. Are you going to wear that around Connecticut?
Either my wife will steal it or I would wear it to maybe Christmas, maybe Easter. It's an Easter sweater. I have a bunch of pink polos, to the country club.
I can't get over that. That's $170.
That's crazy.
Oh, can we go back to that real quick? I'm going to come back to refusing orders. Supply or demand. Do you think there is a bunch of dudes out there, and they did market research, and they're like, if we do this sweater, they'll buy it? Or do you think they're trying to create a market, or is it just a total bit to do what we just did?
Yeah,
just to get the viral coverage.
I think so. When Screwball whiskey came out, the peanut butter flavored whiskey, they were having a lot of people do taste tests that hated it to get it to move. And everybody started trying it, and then it became a staple in drinks.
I liked it.
No, man, come on, man.
I mean, This weekend, I'm going on my annual squirrel hunt and catfish rodeo. We go to the woods of East Texas.
Sounds like an ordeal. Yeah.
And we hunt squirrels.
Yeah.
We would be more successful if we sat in my backyard in Dallas. You see more squirrels in urban environments than you do in the woods. But we do have a lot of success on the catfish. We run trot lines. We fry them ourselves. It's a great time. We sit around the campfire, and we debate every year the best country and western song. And I would pour a glass of Screwball whiskey by the fire and just slowly sip it, and it was perfect. It fit.
No. No. Unless you're debating, like, when you're debating whether or not Taylor Swift is country or not. That's your... that's what the real debate is, isn't it?
You don't like it at all, Screwball?
I drink real whiskey because, oddly, for me being kind of not masculine, I'm a man.
Let me say something. I appreciate high and low. Always have. I appreciate good music. Like, I like country. That's my big thing, right?
Yeah.
I love Chris Stapleton.
Yeah.
I like Zach Bryan. I also like Florida Georgia Line. One doesn't cancel the other out for me. Each have their scenarios. I like fine dining. I also like a chicken fried steak. I like high-low. The middle ground I don't have much time for. So I like the whiskey you gave me, which is right back there. And I like Screwball.
And you like the smell of onion in your studio, too, right now. It's the strongest flavor of onion.
Am I breathing onion on you?
I don't even think it's breathing it. You walk in here and it smells like onion. Don't you have producers to cover the smell? Even my place doesn't smell this bad.
They're all 23 and they just got out of college and they want me to wear pink sweaters.
I'm excited for your weekend, though, to debate what Taylor Swift songs are country or not. I think it's going to be a very exciting time. You guys will all wear this. But it's a gimmick. So who shops at J.Crew? Do you actually shop for? I don't shop for clothes.
No.
It's very evident I don't shop for clothes. It's got to be women going to these stores and they see the sweater and they go, oh, that'd be nice. And then they sucker the women into buying the sweater.
For their man.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, ladies, don't do that. Don't bring this sweater home to your man.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
but it will be everywhere on Christmas. I bet it's probably their top selling item right now.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm bringing it home to my wife. So
okay,
it works that way.
There you go.
Is she the same size as you, Dan?
No. It's oversized.
And she can regift it for Christmas. You'll give it to her, and then she'll put it in a box and give it back for Christmas.
Yeah, maybe some.
It'll be a nice time.
Let's go back to
What were we talking about? Mutiny?
Yeah, mutiny. Back to mutiny. Here's the difference, and this is what I really wanted to go after Dan, even in his pink sweater. If you were drawing those parallels,
I knew when
to those
I sent
instances. Those instances are unique and specific. And when I say that, I don't just mean they're a moment in time, a given incident, a given unlawful order. What are the Democrats talking about? What is the unlawful order? It's a generalized appeal to the military.
Correct.
That's why it sounds like a generalized appeal to insurrection, a generalized appeal to treason, a generalized divide of the United States government, a generalized turning on Donald Trump.
Yeah, and you take a look at anybody who might be upset at the Pete Hegseth speech, which was the greatest speech by any Secretary of War or Defense, whatever you want to call it, where he said we're not going to do that crap anymore. The list of things. How many people, how many liberals in the military think that that's illegal on its own? And then they can generally kind of do some sort of mutinous act because of it. It's insane what position they have put this country in after they said for years that Donald Trump was dog whistling. They're actually calling for it.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Here's what I would imagine. I don't have a Democrat book today. For the record, I had one booked yesterday. Jamie Raskin was supposed to be on the Will Cain show. Great booking, right? Like, that would have been great to talk about the Epstein stuff. Of course he canceled.
Well, he probably had a lot of constituent work, Will. You never know what constituents Democrats are dealing with now.
You know, I had to grill him about, he's released these Epstein files directly to the media. Like, blatantly illegal.
Yeah.
What he's done. And he has to answer for it. I wanted to ask him about Stacey Plaskett as well, texting with Jeffrey Epstein during the middle.
Well, look, the Virgin Islands, he's down there. The Epstein Island's part of the Virgin Island archipelago. I've gotten to use that word 3 times this week.
Is Epstein's Island, I'm assuming now, if he's being described as a constituent, is it part of the Virgin Islands?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So, like, she could just take a little boat over to the island, and her pretending that she didn't know what was going on there, I kind of doubt that now.
Yeah.
I mean, the Virgin Islands aren't that big of a place. You know, when you have the most famous people coming in and out on an island, I'm certain that she knew when Bill Clinton was there. She got to hang out.
There's some Secret Service. It's got Got to be involved in that.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, have we interviewed all the Secret Service dudes that went to Epstein Island? Like, have we heard from all that? You don't hear from Secret Service agents much at all.
No.
What they did.
So when you drink the Screwball, do you listen to the new Showgirl album, or like what's the?
Tim, you love it. Everybody likes to put Will in pink sweaters and make fun of him. It's a real running.
Because you're a very masculine man. And it's intimidating to be on set with you. You swam to the Statue of Liberty in the dirtiest water in the world.
You want to know the debate? You want to know the real debate?
Yeah.
Okay. I am in the contingency that claims that Amarillo by Morning is the greatest country and western song of all time. I think George Strait is the greatest, and I have an appreciation for things that came before George Strait.
Yeah.
Meaning I'm not trapped, because he's sort of an 80s guy, 80s and 90s. My mom's husband, who I love, and it's his place we go to, who's older than me, he, I think, is in the camp of He Stopped Loving Her Today by George Jones.
Oh, that's a good one.
And there's a few others that are
I
in
like the
running.
poppier stuff, man. I like The Gambler. If I say greatest of all time, and your look at me is so judgy, but I'm telling you, a couple screwballs in, and you'd be like, you know what? It's a great poem.
I love the song. I do.
Yeah.
It's too much of a bit. It's almost too popular outside of country circles.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. If it comes on in Brooklyn and everybody goes, yay, I'm like, I think this song is probably not going to be the one.
But, you know, like when you look at like people, and I know the difference between real country and then kind of the poppy country, and I think The Gambler kind of falls into poppy country because it got so popular. But what was it? Smoke in a Bar from Travis Tritt a couple of years ago. I don't know if you know that song or not.
I don't know it, no.
Smoke in a Bar. Oh, man. That is like, you've got to listen to that song.
Okay, can I just give you this? And everybody, if you want the best Kenny Rogers song, and you like the poem, and you like the story, and I think a story song is the best, you know what it is. It's not The Gambler.
No, I don't know what it is.
Okay, well, I'll give you one this one comes in probably third, fourth, fifth in that range, but what's the name of it? It's where the kid tosses the ball up to himself. The greatest that ever was.
Oh.
And do you know the song?
Yeah.
It's like Casey at the bat. He throws it to himself. He strikes out, and he keeps telling himself, I'm the greatest that ever was, and he keeps missing the ball. And then when he does it the third time, he picks it up and goes home. Not even I thought I could pitch like that. No, but the greatest Kenny Rogers song is Coward of the County.
Yeah, that's a good one.
You know it?
Yeah, so like when you guys get a couple of screwballs in you, do you start debating whether or not Reba McEntire's Fancy is one of the best of all time?
Oh, it's up there. Oh, Reba's for real.
That's a legit one.
That is
her acting career,
legit.
and she's had a heck of a career, but I don't ever need to see her on television.
But mutiny, we do have to deal with this. This is a generalized appeal for insurrection, and I think this is really crossing a Rubicon here. We keep crossing Rubicons over and over. It makes you wonder how many Rubicons there are, but
not many left. I mean,
but there is a group of people that live in a world. We all live. I joke about the pink sweater, Tim.
Yeah.
It's not in my algorithm. And that's a real thing. It literally isn't. I did not know this story until they brought it up. My algorithm's different. We live in our algorithms. And I found this moment between Bill Maher and Patton Oswalt, the comedian, fascinating. Now, everybody's sharing this because of what Bill Maher says. Anybody listens to this show or the Will Cain Show knows very well about the UK grooming gangs, the cultural shift in the UK, the Islamification of the UK. You know about the things that are going on. Pakistani males grooming young, often white, working-class girls and gang raping them.
Yeah.
Keeping them trapped in houses and passing them around the community. Maher brings this up with Oswald, who's not just on the left. I think he's self-described woke. I think he owns it. I'm woke. And I want the audience and you, because my takeaway isn't Maher in this clip, it's Oswald.
Yeah. Yep.
Watch.
Well, the left freak out too. The left freaked out about a lot of bullshit.
What did they freak out about?
Gender, race, parenthood, schools, homelessness, crime, the border, education. Like we stopped being a scientific people. Like it's not scientific.
But the left certainly stayed scientific.
No, they didn't.
Why not?
Because they think gender bullshit that they went way too far with. That's not scientific.
All right, so that in the clip. Hey, Dan,
it's a very long. He goes on a very long list.
But Dan, see if you can grab the other one really quickly. The one about the UK grooming gangs. Okay,
Okay. Sorry, I grabbed that one.
To some extent, that clip begins to illustrate my point.
Yeah.
Okay. The point, and I want you to hear how Oswald. I keep doing that because of Roy Oswald, the pitcher.
Yeah. He's one of the funniest guys, by the way. Patton Oswalt. I've worked with him back when I was doing more stand-up.
Yeah?
One of the most incredible and kind people, but just totally out of touch.
Well, the out of touch part is what's interesting. Even on that, like saying the left is own science.
Yeah.
Like, not true. Not true during COVID. Not true on climate science. I know he believes that to be the case.
Yeah.
Not true on gender. And he lives in a world where he still thinks he can claim that moral high ground.
Well, he lives in L.A. I mean, and when you're in that bubble and all of your friends say that you're right and all of your friends are rich and famous or powerful or whatever, you look down on everybody else in America. And I think that's really the issue with these Hollywood leftist elites. Bill Maher gets it because Bill Maher's in front of audiences every night. I think, you have these writers and you have these comedians like Patton Oswalt who are just in a studio and they're hanging out with their executives and whoever else friends all day long. And they believe that they're right because that's their tiny bubble that they're in. By the way, you know who's not in your algorithm is me because you don't follow me on Twitter.
We'll rectify that momentarily.
Terrible, Will.
Do you know what? It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, meaning it's all algorithm based. Everybody's on the For You page.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the stuff I don't want to see is on the For You page. And I don't believe the other day, and I know this isn't one of the topics, that California congressman who had his mouth open while he was looking at dirty pictures on the plane, that is not, I have never in my life gotten a dirty picture on my For You page.
Well,
if you're in politics, you're going to get...
Good for you, Tim.
Oh, you... Well, I don't know what you're looking at, Will, but all I get is Democrat stuff.
So what Tim is talking about is Congressman Brad Sherman of California was caught in first class, I believe, on a plane.
That's the place to look at it.
And somebody sitting next to him sneaked a picture of him.
More than one.
It's not his phone either. It's an iPad, right? So it's like big. It's big images. He's got his iPad, and it's, to give him some charity, they're not naked women.
No.
They're bikini women and voluptuous women, and he's just admiring, and he's to Tim's point, he's got his mouth open. It's mouth
weird.
breathing.
It's very bad. I won't even imitate it here because it's so bad.
And it's multiple. I think he's scrolling through.
Oh, yeah. No, he's enjoying it.
He's going through and just looking at these chicks.
Yeah.
And his excuse when outed on this was Elon.
Yeah.
My algorithm's all messed up on X. He's messed it up. But to your point, the algorithm feeds you things, Congressman, that it knows that you're interested in and you have been cultivating.
Mm-hmm.
So the algorithm isn't a get out jail free card for you.
My algorithm is just hate speech on Instagram. I was trying to figure out how to say that on the show. Just straight hate speech.
But okay, Dan, do you have the Oswald, the other clip? Have you gotten that yet? Are we doing our still looking? Still haven't.
I think
found
it was part of that clip. He goes on this
I'll
long.
I've got it. I'll play it for the audience. Where is it?
Pink sweater threw him today.
Yeah, but he lives in this bubble. The point is where not only, and this is the thing about the grooming gangs. I'll describe it for you. So, okay, here I want you to pay attention. Tell me what Oswald reminds you of as he's listening to Maher talk about the UK grooming gangs.
To put it.
Anything
Briefly,
can be too much, but a lot of times the way that things are framed and represented is also amplified so that they can make their point.
But do you know about the what do they call it when they get kids to grooming, the grooming scandal?
Oh yeah.
No.
See, that's a big story.
This is in the UK.
Yes, that went on from the 80s to the present, and it wasn't
You're talking about the royal family.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about Pakistani men who were immigrants, who were grooming poor, impoverished white girls mostly in these things, and making them into prostitutes and sex slaves and really nasty shit.
It's miserable.
That would pass for more normal in a traditional Pakistani society where women are not considered equal citizens. And if you don't understand that, and that gender apartheid is the #1 issue that you woke people should be concerned with but seem not to be, then right away we're not really seeing the world as the same way. And I think I'm seeing it much more clearly.
Yeah, but
gender apartheid should be your #1 issue. If you really care about oppression, a lot. I'm talking about hundreds of millions of the world's women. And it's mostly because of the tenets of Islam. to be perfectly honest about it. And this is what's going on in England,
Okay.
and this is why England is having a big problem these days.
Okay, so what I find interesting is, yeah, Oswald knows nothing of the story.
Yeah.
And he's not interested, as Mars telling him it. And it reminds you of that, like, okay, everybody's been at the backyard barbecue, and you have that one friend, Tinfoil Pat, on our show, who has just gone too deep on something, and he's too far out there, and you start going, yeah, you don't,
yeah.
And that's what he's doing to Mar on a very real story that he knows nothing about. He's assuming it's wingnut.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's how most liberals are now. They've been so convinced that they're right and that they're morally superior that they don't need to listen to these other stories. And you do watch him; he fades out there. Like his eyes are not there.
No,
he's just kind of like, all right, whatever, get this over with. And I don't think he's as high as Bill Maher there. And Bill Maher's very clearly explaining this. It's so weird. Why aren't there more liberals and people on the left like Bill Maher who are still, although we probably disagree on so much, reasonable? Who still see these key issues like free speech and Islam taking over and changing cultures. Where are all of these people? Are they all like Patton Oswalt? Is that where we are now?
Well, it's interesting. When you were saying that, I started to think, okay, if I had somebody from the left, would they say the same thing about the right? Where are the right's Bill Maher's, right? And I guess they would say those people are what? Like the Lincoln Project type Republicans, the anti-Trump Republicans?
100% agree with them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, basically. And by the way, here's what's fascinating about those people. They're indistinguishable from the left. Everybody that went anti-Trump or never Trump, okay, I can almost forgive, like, okay, that's your position, but you're conservative in every other way.
Yeah.
I don't know who those people are anymore because they adopted every other argument of the left.
Those Lincoln Project guys were endorsing Mondani. I mean, you can't. There's just no world where you would be able to endorse that as someone who claims to be a Republican or conservative at all.
I mean, guns, abortion, like these were defining characteristics of what it meant to be a conservative before Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And they gave up on those issues.
Yep.
So what was it that made you conservative?
You know, I think it was who's paying them. I really think that's where it comes from. Is what donor money. I'd love to see where they get their money from at the Lincoln Project.
But they're not all Lincoln Project, so it's also
or
like
even there are a lot of big names. Yeah,
CNN's paying.
Oh yeah,
not Scott Jennings. He's
no
holding strong. He's great.
What a great shtick for him. The one guy who stands up for himself there that isn't like squashed every time he's on there as a conservative. He's great.
You know, I have been in that position. I've been in that position at CNN, and I was in that position at ESPN. It's funny now that I want to ask him this because people would ask me this. What's it like behind the scenes? I would love to know what it's like for Scott. He said, I saw a clip last night where he said, I'm friends with this guy. There was another guy at the table. And I believe that can totally be true.
Yeah.
But I also know there can be a lot of like, what is it about troubled waters? Like there's a lot under the surface of sometimes of these relationships and they don't really like you or what they really think about you.
Yeah. They know you're good for ratings and then that's it.
Oh, I think they'd happily sacrifice any ratings to get rid of Scott. A lot of them. I mean, they don't want to hear any opinion, much less one that's as good and strong as Scott's. Like he makes his argument really well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, wasn't he comms for McConnell for a long time?
Was he McConnell?
I think he was McConnell, wasn't he?
I don't remember. Anyway, I just found that really the Oswalt reaction to that story. Once it gets in my head, I can't change it.
He looks
really
like
Oswalt.
And I'm not going to say the obvious, but he looks like a librarian now. He looks like an older librarian who would judge you constantly. He just seems like that person who you're just not going to get anything through to anyway. Like,
one more point on the physical nature of that clip. To your point of Bill Maher, it's got to drop the transition lenses. The transition lenses are shady. They make you look shady. Literally. Like you meet a guy in transition lenses and you're like, can't trust him. There he is. Look at.
Yeah.
Like they're not sunglasses and they're not eyeglasses. They're in between. And this, if that guy wanted to sell you a life insurance policy, would you feel good about the policy?
No, I just set my money on fire. I've been wearing glasses since I was 9, I think, and I'll never switch out of them. I would never get transition lenses. I just think it's too inconvenient when you're in and outside when they start changing.
Yeah.
I like controlling my
You're always in the middle.
Shade. Yeah.
All right. One more thing I wanted to run by Tim Young here. What is the other clip I have, guys? This is a totally prepared show today. Oh, it's Joy Reid.
Oh, I love her.
It just gets better. I actually think maybe a moment of sanity or honesty from Joy Reid. Enjoy.
I would be disturbed. I'm telling you, I would be alarmed. I'm alarmed enough when I see a woman with her dangling boobies.
Yeah.
If I saw a penis in the ladies' locker room, I would freak out too. This is just. I mean, this is nothing against trans anybody. What it's saying is, if I turn around and I see a penis in front of me inside of the room, yeah. I would probably go to management and say, "Wait a minute, why is there a naked man in this room?"
There you go.
Broken clock is right twice. She needs the ratings?
No. I think that Joy Reid is one of, and I don't know what percentage of the commentariat is in this bucket. She literally sees no issue outside the lens of race.
Oh, and so it's because it was a black woman that was upset about the.
Correct.
There you go.
It was a black woman at the gym in L.A. who complained about a trans person in the women's locker room, came out talking just like that, like, I just saw a ding dong in the women's restroom, and I'm mad. And I can't remember what gym it was, suspended her.
Yeah.
Not the trans. And I think that's why Joy is right there.
Hey, look, if that's what it takes, I'll take her on this issue. I don't want her on any other issue. I liked her hat there, by the way, that it said Petty.
I didn't notice the hat.
She should wear that all the time. You know, I'm a hat guy, and I think a Petty hat is perfect for her.
Tom Petty?
No. Petty, like
she's
Petty. She wouldn't like Tom Petty.
What is your hat right now?
This is the Minnesota Supper Clubbers. It's an old-fashioned.
It is an old-fashioned.
Yeah.
What is the Minnesota Supper Clubbers?
It's a minor league. So
really? That's a legit minor league team?
So they have all of these. There's this new gimmick in minor league baseball that they have like different logos and catchy logos like 2 or 3 times a year. And this is an alternate team name for whatever team that this is.
Minor league baseball is full of such good names.
It's so much fun.
And I covered them, and I got a hat for the Biloxi Shuckers.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. I have like 300 hats. They're all fitted.
Really?
I have this real problem with hats and hoodies. But yeah, no, I love this hat.
Yeah, and are most of them minor league baseball?
Oh yeah, the only good ones are minor league baseball hats. I have the dance halls from what's the Round Rock dance halls.
Well, it's the Round Rock Express. I thought was it an alternate? The dance halls?
Yeah, and the Round Rock brisket too. They have a brisket hat that's leather and it's a cow with like the cut shapes out of it. And then the dance halls is a cowboy with a baseball bat on a fiddle.
Oh, I love that.
They're so cool.
That's great.
They're so cool. Yeah.
All right, you can get more of Tim at Tim Runs His Mouth on X. Media fellow at Heritage, and we love having him here.
You could
in
too
studio,
if you followed me,
which we're going to rectify in just a moment. Maybe you just need to do something more viral, and it would hit my algorithm.
Getting out of here. Get me out of here.
There he goes, Tim Young. All right, don't go anywhere. I want to get you. There are a lot of comments, most of them about the pink sweater, and more. Your comments plus final takes when we come back on Will Cain Country. Just got Tim a Will Cain Country hat. It's not fitted, so I'm not sure it's ever going to get worn, but add to the collection of 300 hats there. You've got...
We have hats?
Tim Young here on Will Cain. We have a few, Dan. We don't have many. There's more coming, because people have asked, but that's not the hat that people have asked about. People have asked about the blue one. Which one? The blue one with the logo right here.
But we don't have hats.
Welcome back to Will Cain.
No,
we oughta. I want to design a hat. I want to design a hat. I like hats.
I want to be I'm going to be honest with you. I've been talking about this for 3 years. The 3 years we've been together. We need a merchandise. We're a daggum digital show, and we don't merchandise. What the H are we doing?
I think he's mad at you, Will.
Okay.
Not Will.
Okay, he is mad.
The situation.
He thinks his ideas go nowhere. He thinks his ideas. I know Patrick. Patrick has a lot of ideas, and the ideas are gold. And if people don't jump on his ideas, he's really upset at the system. So, this goes back to our debate about the system. So, I got to figure out. Yeah, throw me the hat, Ed. Throw me the hat. Look at that. This is Tiger made these hats right here.
Really?
I don't know. I'm totally lost. Is that the camera I'm on right now?
Yes.
Right here. I've been lost for a while in this
Yep.
show.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. Fox News. Will
Other
Cain show hat.
Look straight
Black
ahead.
I think people in
leather.
the chat want some.
Look at us. Right there. There you go.
Let me design a hat. I like Tiger's hat, and I like the other one, but I'm very specific on hat tastes. I can't describe it, but I know when it's like that's a hat that I will wear.
Ed's moving the camera in the middle of the show, so that's
You know
fun.
when you see it?
Scott is. Scott's moving the camera while we're on.
Literally.
Ed's busy doing research for Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, God.
Here you go. Hold on. You got to read. Right?
Jeez.
This is
It's not like we're in the middle of a segment
I
or
don't think you
anything.
can get. Yeah. Well, Ron and Fran said we want the show more casual.
Well,
so
this
you
is
got casual.
As casual as it gets, let me tell you.
All right, I want to check in with the Willisha really quickly here. Rosemary Luna says, it isn't that it's pink, it's that it's a fugly sweater, Will. Freedom says, cute, Will. Connor Markey, who wore it better, Dan or Will?
That's our
And Haunted 1989 says, it brings your eyes. Connor Markey is our Connor?
Yeah.
This is great.
Nice. I think you wore it better, Dan.
I have a beard, so it really butches it up a little more, I think.
That's right. Need
Why do you think that's so funny?
35-year-old
Yeah, why the hell is
Will
that so funny, Ed?
Who looks more
This
gay?
is a lot of dead air.
Me or Dan in it?
I literally have a lumberjack beard. What are you talking?
Me?
Some, you know.
But that makes you. I mean,
I
the
know
beard
you're
is
saying.
very in all communities.
I know what you're saying. It's very inclusive. The beard.
Yes.
A lot of people
You
use
and I
it.
have that sweater on.
Behind
Who
their weak chin.
is more available?
Who's getting a free drink?
Who's getting a free drink? Me or Dan? I'm going to argue it's Dan. I think Dan gets the free drink.
Yeah.
Ed agrees. I
Okay.
think Dan gets the free drink.
All right.
Well, you also
Be
have to
honest,
see
Patrick.
him-
You'd buy Dan the drink, not me.
Of course, for sure. Right bar, yeah.
Suzanne, which we do not think is our boss, says Will needs to sign it and auction off for charity, which makes me think Suzanne is our boss. And Army Mom says, you got suckered into that, Will. I applaud you for playing along. Fishing with Vance says, no way Pete puts that on.
No.
I disagree.
He's done a lot of things.
I think yeah,
of
maybe
things
not
for
now, but back in the day,
game.
he didn't take himself too seriously.
Yeah.
Now he's trying to ban all that stuff.
He was a gamer.
Yeah, he's too serious.
You should go to the most
now
recent
he's
comments
banned the pink sweater.
I sent you.
I think Pete should put out an order. No military member can shop for the pink sweater at J. Crew. And then we'll see if the Democrats say, do not obey that order for the sake of the country. Stand down on that unlawful order,
Disobey.
says Jason Crow of Colorado. Okay, before we go here, let's do a quick episode of Final Takes.
Final takes.
And we have the most electric man in broadcasting, Tinfoil Pat.
Well, it's happened, Will. Someone got bit by a tick and died because of the new meat. I don't know. I didn't even know this was going to be possible. It's an allergy that makes you sick called from a Lone Star tick. It gives you what's called, I don't know, alpha-gal syndrome. And so what that means is that you become allergic to red meat.
Alpha-gal?
Alpha-gal. Yep. So you become
Sounds like what
allergic
you
to
get for
red
wearing a
meat.
pink sweater.
Yeah.
Hey.
And a New Jersey man fell ill. He ate a hamburger at a barbecue and died just hours later. Are you concerned? Are you worried about this red meat allergy?
Yes.
I'm fine because I don't go outside a lot.
Apparently, or leave Jacksonville or cross bridges.
Yeah.
It's not going to get me.
This is legit. Like this story, this is a legit story. There is people getting this thing from ticks that apparently is making them allergic to red meat, right? It's red meat specifically. And although it doesn't always cause death, it apparently did in this situation, and can make you for a long period of time very sick if you come into contact with red meat. And of course, I know Patrick doesn't think that's a natural evolution of biology. That is definitely something that was issued out of the World Economic Forum, and Bill Gates most likely had a hand in this. Right,
Montauk,
Patrick?
probably.
You're 100%.
Montauk.
Yeah, Montauk.
Yeah, that's incredibly scary. I mean, I'm going to be in the woods this weekend. I mean, you can't get a tick. When's the last time you had a tick? When's the last time you had a tick?
This summer.
I have never had a tick.
You had?
I don't think. No.
You had both of those answers are wild. Patrick, you've never had a tick. Never.
I can't recall having a tick. No.
Like a tick on me?
You never went. No, not just on you. Like burrowed in, not crawling.
Like
his
attached.
head's in.
I don't know if head in, but I have had.
Yeah, he's attached to you.
I had multiple attached to me this summer, by the water in the woods.
Hold on, in the water.
Like by the water, like on beaches and stuff. We have ticks on the beaches in New York.
You have ticks on the beach? Jeez.
Yeah.
Remind me not to go to.
In the reeds.
Don't go to New York.
Yeah, in the reeds in the marsh.
What are you going to marshes for?
Okay, I could see it in.
I live in Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut.
What are you doing in the marshes with that pink sweater?
Fishing.
What are you doing in the dunes? Are you at Fire Island?
I've never been that far out on Long Island, but yeah. Tick is my friend's nickname.
I know you've been to the meat rack on Fire Island.
I do hear they meet.
So
they have a lot of meetings
baseball,
in bushes.
but I know what it is. I do know what it is. Look it up. The meat rack on Fire Island.
I don't think I will.
Don't wear that sweater.
Nope.
We
have Lyme disease in Connecticut. From Lyme, Connecticut.
It's been years since I've had a tick. Now, you saying you have multiple is as odd as Patrick saying he's never. Like, I'm talking about where you have to burn a needle and stick it to the tick's back to get it to back out. Which, by the way, I feel like do you think it works, Ed? I've done it so many times, and then you pull it, and you're like, did I get the head or did I not get the head? I don't know. Do you know the whole deal on having a tick like that? Have you had ticks, Dan, that you know the whole game? Like, you got to get the tick out and try not to leave the head in your body.
Yeah.
Because it burrows in, its head is in your body.
I've had friends with
Lyme
Lyme disease.
Patrick, you ever pulled a tick off your dog? What about that?
I don't. I'll just let him die if he gets one. It's fine. It's just a fair game. And to be honest, maybe I have had a tick.
Take the tick
I don't
off
know.
your dog?
Jesus.
I don't know. I've
You
never
would
seen
know-
a tick on him. I make
You
my
would know
wife
if
do
you
all
have a
that
tick,
stuff.
'cause they don't go away.
Yeah.
If a
I'd make
tick
my wife do all
attaches
that.
itself to you, you either get it out or it swells up like on your dog. Like if you've ever had a country dog and you don't notice the tick until like
so
he's all of a sudden got this big gray mole on him. You're like, what is that? Oh, it's a tick who's been there long enough that he's been drinking a ton of blood and his whole body is like blown up the size of it's honestly about the size of your pinky. And then you got to pull the tick off, and it's too late because when you do, it pops like a zit, and there's blood everywhere. But you getting the tick off you happens much sooner. You don't, unless you are very hairy, you're not going to not see the tick on you. And you got to get it off without leaving the head inside. So if you go to the internet or you grew up at all in the country, you know, you take something like a pen, not a writing pen, a metal pen, and you put a match to it, you get it hot, and then you put it on the tick's butt. And the theory is the tick is like, ouch, 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 and backs out of your body, and then you brush him off. The problem is it never seems to work. He just singes. He just burns. He just sits there and burns.
Sounds like an old
and you're
wives'
like,
tale.
is he off or not? And then you pull, and you're like, I think the head's still in me. Because, by the way, I don't know what a tick head looks like. So now I've got him, and I'm going, is his head on there or not? And I don't really know. But you throw it down, and you hope that the tick doesn't stay inside you and give you alpha-gal.
We have to do tick checks every time we go somewhere in Connecticut growing up. Anytime you walk near the woods, anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Montauk. Yeah.
So now, Dan, that we've explained it, you had multiple of the situations I just described this summer?
No, I found ticks on me that were like grabbed on, but not in my skin.
Crawling on you.
Yes. Sorry, not inside my skin. No, hell no.
And to be fair, I might have had a tick in my childhood. I just blocked most of it out. You know?
Seems like you block a lot out.
I try to.
Have you ever had chiggers?
I don't believe so. But that's what this guy thought he had, was chiggers, and it was actually larvae.
Really?
Yes, that's what the article claimed.
No. Tick larva?
Yep.
That's disgusting.
Gross. I have the most, like, if you ask me, like, triggering, nightmarish memories of childhood, chiggers would be up near the top. Up near the top. Like, mosquitoes, okay, whatever. That's a one-off bite here, there. If you've ever been, I remember going on, like, Cub Scout trips and campouts out in the country, and you walk through tall grass, and you've got your socks on. I remember coming home, because chiggers get, like, on the edges, so, like, where your sock line is, or your underwear line. When you were a kid and you wore the whitey-tighties, and you would get home, and your whole underwear line is bites.
That's so gross.
Bites. And on
So
your
gross.
calves or ankles where the socks were. It's the worst. And it itches forever, and it's overwhelming, and you're just chewed alive. I don't get chiggers a lot these days. Is it because I'm not in the woods as much, or I cover up better, or have chiggers gone
You're a
away?
city boy now.
Can we look that up? Well, let's look up chigger population. Has it gone down a lot? What's going on with chiggers? Do they have another name, or is that just a Texas Southern name thing? Is there something else people call? Yeah.
I think that's what it said in the article. So, but apparently almost
Those are
a
called
quarter.
berry bugs, according to Connor over here. And bush mites. Ew.
Berry bugs?
Ew, they're disgusting. I'm not looking that up.
Almost
Have you guys
half
ever had
a million
scabies?
people. No.
Me neither.
Pretty sure you get penicillin for that.
Me neither.
You ever been on any boats?
That's a story for another time, boys. That's a story for another
Let's
time.
do a deep dive right now. Let's go. Let's go to 2 o'clock. Let's go.
Wait, is that other thing? Okay.
Not rabies, scabies.
No.
That's going to do it for us today here on Will Kane Country. All right, this is, there you go. Ron, Fran, more casual? I think so. That's going to do it for us today here on Will Kane Country. We hope you'll join the Willisha. Make sure you follow us on Spotify and Apple. Every Friday, Kane on Sports episode, only available at Spotify or Apple. Thanks to Tim Young. We'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same place.